Every story I have told you on this channel has ended the same way, in the ground. A fortune that died, so yours does not have to. Well, not today. Today we flip it. Today is one of the ones that almost died and clawed its way back, because you learn just as much from a survivor as you do from a corpse. Sometimes more. And this survivor was close. I mean days from bankruptcy close. 70 years old, a beloved family company, buried under $800 million of debt and bleeding about $1 million a day. Most companies never climb out of a hole that deep. This one climbed out and became the biggest toy company on the planet. And the part that gets me every time is that the thing that almost killed it and the thing that saved it were the exact same thing. This is Lego. It starts back in 1932 in Denmark with a carpenter named Ole Kirk Christensen. And I love this part. The name Lego comes from two Danish words that just mean play well. That is the whole mission right there. Then in 1958, they patented the little plastic brick, the one with the studs that clicks together and never lets go. You know the one. You have probably stepped on it barefoot at 2 in the morning and seen God. For decades, that is all Lego is, the brick. Kids build, parents trust it, and it grows into one of the most loved companies on earth. Then, somewhere in the late 90s, Lego gets scared. And I get it, honestly. Video games are pulling kids off the living room floor and onto a screen. The patent on the brick has run out, so now anybody can copy it. And a scared company does the same thing a scared person does. It starts grabbing at everything. Lego decides to quit being a brick company and start being everything. Theme parks, video games, clothing, watches, a TV show, its own action figure universe. And to feed all of it, the number of different pieces they had to make exploded into the thousands. It looked like growth. It was quicksand. Let me tell you what that quicksand actually does to a company, because from the outside, you cannot see it happening. Every new theme, every new toy line needs its own special molded pieces, and those molds cost a fortune. Lego ended up making thousands of different parts, and most of them barely sold. The theme parks ate cash and handed almost nothing back. The video game division just bled money. They had spread themselves across a dozen businesses and gotten worse at every single one. By 2003, the bill comes due, and it is ugly. Lego is losing around $1 million a day. It is carrying about $800 million in debt. 2004 becomes one of the worst years in the company's whole history. A brand that generations of kids grew up loving is, and I do not say this lightly, almost broke. 70 years of building about to end. Now watch what happens, because the turn does not come the way you would expect. In 2004, Lego hands the entire company to a 35-year-old named Jørgen Vig Knudstorp, former McKinsey consultant and the first boss in Lego history who is not part of the founding family. And Knudstorp walks in and asks the one question everybody else was too scared to say out loud. What if the problem is not the market? What if the problem is us? And his answer was not some brilliant new product. It was the opposite. It was subtraction. He cut the number of different pieces by about a third, ripping out the complexity that was quietly bleeding the company dry. He sold off the theme parks. He shut down the money-losing video game unit. He made the call to lay off around 1,000 people. And I am not going to gloss over that, because that is not a line on a spreadsheet. That is 1,000 families. And then he aimed the whole company back at the one thing it was always great at, the brick. Focus on the core, partner with the right stories like Star Wars, and quit trying to be everything to everybody. Do less, on purpose. And it worked. Not overnight, but it flat out worked. Lego climbed out of the hole, paid down the debt, and then just kept climbing. By 2015, it had passed Mattel to become the biggest toy company in the world, a multi-billion-dollar empire, built back on the same little brick from 1958. Now, what do you actually take from a comeback like this? Because there is real money wisdom in it. Start with the thing everybody skips right over. Lego nearly died the second it forgot what it was, a brick company that got talked into being a lifestyle brand. And anytime you drift from the thing you are genuinely good at, you get worse at all of it. But the lesson that really ties this whole channel together is quieter than that. Complexity kills, and it kills slow. Think about the last 3 stories I told you. Enron built complexity on purpose to look bigger than it was, and it died. Lego drowned in complexity by accident, chasing growth, and it nearly went down right alongside it. The only difference is Lego cut the tangle out before the clock ran out. Simple survives, complicated does not. And underneath all of it sits the least exciting truth in business. Growth just to grow is a trap, and the boring, disciplined move, doing less and doing it well, is almost always the one still standing at the end. I will tell you where I learned that. 28 years in the fire service. The calls that go right are boring. Nobody walks out of a burning building because somebody got fancy. They walk out because the crew did the basic stuff right. Check your air, know your exits, do your own job and not somebody else's. Lego almost died trying to be exciting. It lived by getting boring again on purpose. Your money is no different. The flashy move is usually the one that burns you. The boring discipline is what is still standing when the smoke clears. This is the money graveyard, but this one does not end in the dirt. Lego is still here, still building, one of the great comebacks there is. Because not every fortune has to die. Some get rebuilt, one boring brick at a time. Next time, we are back in the graveyard, and it is a big one. A quiet, trusted man on Wall Street who took thousands of people who trusted him with everything in the biggest Ponzi scheme ever pulled. That is Bernie Madoff. I will see you there.